Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and today I'm going to show you how to make this fun milk carton. It can be used, you can put candy inside here, a small gift. I also remember when our son was young and I did a barnyard themed birthday party for him. This would make a great favor box for to put some things in for the kiddos to take home. It's just super cute. It's got this grassy edge, some clouds in the sky, the cow, and you can put more cows on here, but I wanted to show you how cute it is even with just one cow. Or maybe you have other animals you'd want to put around the edge. But since it's a milk carton, it just kind of makes sense that you should have a cow on here. And that cow was made using the Cutest Cows bundle. Then up at the top right here, I have kind of a tag that represents sunshine. And you can put whatever words you want in that sunshine. It could be like happy birthday or thank you, or whatever you want. I thought what's moo with you is really cute, so it's just a punny little greeting on there. So what I decided to put in there is because I was at our local grocery store and I saw these Horizon milks, milk drinks, and they come in 3 different flavors, chocolate, vanilla, and I have strawberry inside my box right now. And so I thought that was really cute. You could put these inside there if you were doing kind of like a snack box. And then these Annie's chewy granola bars fit in there. And I think a lot of sized granola bars would fit in there. I just wouldn't go any fatter than an Annie's, and an Annie's is quite thick, so I feel like most of them would fit in here. The box in its entirety is 6.5 inches tall. This portion right here is 5 inches, so you can fit quite a bit of stuff in here if you're careful of what you purchase and buy. What I would suggest doing is, if you are looking for something to fill this box, make just the box and take it to the store with you so you can kind of get a gauge on sizes and stuff and what might fit in here. But it's just a super cute box. This box uses 1 full sheet of cardstock, so of 8.5 by 11. So it's about as big as it can get with 1 sheet of cardstock. Okay, so it is a fair size box, and I feel it's fairly sturdy. It's got heavy milk inside of there, and nothing's coming through the bottom. So I feel like it's going to be super cute. So let's make it. All right, as you know, I do have a project sheet that I send out on Saturdays, and you need to be on my email list to get this project sheet. This is page 1. On page 2, I will have diagrams for you so you can kind of see where to cut and score at a glance so that all of these measurements make sense, and then you can always refer back to this video if you need extra help in making the box. So make sure you're on my email list if you want this project sheet. Look at the link down below in the description of this video and you should be able to find that and sign up. And you might remember earlier in this week I made this cute little flip card, so just have a look. This is almost like a cute little set now, right? This little flip card works like this. This could be a cute birthday card, or you could turn this, if you're doing a barnyard theme for birthday, you could use this as the invitation to the party. So you have lots of different options. I know when Nicholas was little, I always used to do matching cards, and I do matching boxes, and I would make a lot of things for his parties. It was a lot of fun. And the first year number 1, his first birthday, we did a barnyard theme. I think back then I did a barn card. This was before Stampin' Up even, because Stampin' Up wasn't even in Canada. We were back in Canada. They didn't come into Canada until after I was in the US. So I already was crafting even before I started with Stampin' Up. But this is just super, super cute. So it makes a nice little set. I should mention this paper right here. It is in the Celebration catalog. Let me grab it real quick. So, oops. It's this paper right here. And this is a celebration paper. It's called Sunny Days. Let me just hold that up on the screen. And for every $50 or $100 you spend, you get to choose a celebration reward. This is one of them. I've got paper already cut up, but it's got lots of pretty papers. You get 2 sheets of each paper, and I used the cloud paper for this. The back side of that same paper has more clouds on it. These clouds. So it's just kind of a fun paper to get as a reward. And I'm using that ribbon, that celebration ribbon on both of these. And that is also one of the items that you can earn with a $50 order. Let me pop this back over here, so we have more room. All right, let's see what else. Oh, the Cutest Cows bundle comes with this punch and this stamp set right here. Super cute. You've got different cow heads and different greetings and different little images you can use with your cows. So it's super fun to create things with. And what else can I say before I go? Oh, host code. I do have a host code. If you are planning to place an order, use this host code, and then in March I'm going to send you a package of the shiny sequins. You need to spend at least $50 with me in order to get this gift. So just take a note of this down, or you can also always find it over on my blog, and I put it on all my emails too, so you should be able to find the host code at any point, or email me, contact me, and I will be glad to send that to you. Okay, let me pop that away. And I see I've got lots of you on here already, so thank you so much for joining me. And I'm going to pop over to my other camera, and we will start making this box. Got stuff in the way, so let me move this all out of the way for now. And as I said before, we're starting with a full sheet of cardstock. So you've got an 8.5 by 11. If you have a 12 by 12, then cut it down to 8.5 by 11. And I'm gonna need my stylus tool. Now you could do this on your trimmer as well, but for a big sheet that you're going to be scoring like this, the Simply Scored is the best thing to score on, because it's not going to drive you crazy doing all those score lines and having to move your cardstock all the time. In this way, you just stick your cardstock in the score, turn it, and you're done. All right, so we're going to start on the long side, which is the 11-inch side. Stand up is easier when scoring. We're going to score at the 2 5/8 inch mark, the 5 1/4 inch mark, the 7 7/8 inch mark, and the 10 1/2 inch mark. Okay, and then we're going to turn this piece so that the short segment, this little guy, is up at the top. And then we're going to score at the 1 3/8 inch mark, the 6 3/8 inch mark, and the 8-inch mark. All right. I'm just going to orient this piece. So I've got it like this. So this is going to be the top here, the one with the short segment on the top and the short segment on the side. we want to make sure that we have the top up here right now because I want to add some marks. We're going to do some diagonal scoring to create that top part of the milk carton. Now, you could technically do it, fold these pieces without scoring them, but I want to show you the difference. So here's my piece right now. Should orient it the way it should be. If you, first of all, I'll just show you what it looks like. If you fold it without scoring, you're going to get lines that are not smooth. So it's not going to be crazy critical, but if you're a perfectionist like me, I can score these lines and make them 100% better. I did score these lines right here, which is what we're going to do right now. And that kind of creates that nice sort of crisp look rather than just kind of folding and then all the paper just kind of crinkles in on itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a pencil, and there's a couple of different ways to measure this because we're actually going to be doing a 16th inch mark, because since these 2 5/8 inch mark segments, there isn't a middle point that is on a 1/8 inch mark. We're going to have to do a 16th inch. And I did try and do it slightly bigger so we wouldn't run into this problem, but I kind of liked having it out of one sheet of cardstock, so it was a trade-off. Okay, so we're going to make a mark. We have these. This is what our piece kind of looks like. I've taken some chunks out. Actually, later on, I decided not to take this chunk out right here. This was my experimental piece. So orient your piece so it looks like, actually it's gonna look, okay, just let's scrap this one because I'm gonna confuse you because I since have flipped everything around. So let's just scrap that piece. Just make sure you've got a short segment here and a short segment here. We need to find the midpoint of this segment, these two. So I'm going to measure over 1 13/16. So we can do that, or you can eyeball it. 1 13/16 is in between the 1 3/4 inch mark and the 1 7/8 inch mark. So you're just going to make a little mark right there. And the key thing is that from here to here, you want to eyeball it, and it's supposed to look centered in between here and here. If it's not centered on this segment here, then you've got something wrong and you need to reevaluate before you continue on. And then we're also going to measure over to the 7 1/16 inch mark. So that is in between 7 inches and 7 1/8. So I'm just going to put a little mark right there. And again, you just kind of want to look over and see if it's if it looks proper to you. What we're going to do, I'm going to actually score these, and then you'll be able to see everything a little bit better. So these pencil marks now, all you have to do is line them up on any groove, and you're just going to score down to that first score line. So that's what it looks like. And I'm just doing it on the 6 inch score groove, but you can choose any one. You're just going to score down like that. Okay, so I've got this first big segment and the third big segment that is scored. And guess what? I will have a diagram for you in my project sheet, so that will be a whole bunch more clearer to you. All right, then to score the diagonals, it's going to be pretty easy because we're just going to use a ruler and our stylus tool and a foam mat, something soft to put underneath it to give it a little bit of a depression. So we've scored down from here to here and from here to here. So we're going to make, I'll just draw this in place first before I score it, just lightly so you can see it. We're going to score from here to here and from here to here. Okay. So that's basically what we're doing. I'm just going to lightly draw this in so you can kind of see. You don't have to do this yourself because it's going to happen automatically when you do your score with your scoring tool. Okay. So you can kind of see what we're doing right here. Okay. So I do like this Omni Grip ruler for scoring because it's got a thick edge to it. So if you're looking for this exact ruler, because Omni Grip makes a whole bunch of different rulers, they're very hard to find the exact one. Look down below in the description of this video. There is a link almost all the way to the bottom. I have some Amazon links, and I link to this particular ruler. It is if you quilt or you sew, Omni Grip is probably familiar to you because they also make those rulers. But this is a great ruler. I use it a lot. It's got a centering ruler, which is another thing. Oh, I can show you a different way to find this mark. Before we go any further, let's do a couple of things so I can show you an easier way. Oops, did I? Okay. There's if you don't like measuring over on the 16th inch marks, there is an easier way to do this. Let me just draw in these pencil lines real quick so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, so, and we've got this scored segment over here. I'll just kind of draw that in just a little bit so you can see we've got a short segment here and a short segment here. And we need to find the center point of this one and the center point of this one. Okay, we've already done that. But if you want to do that with a centering ruler, you just stick it in between the score lines. You want to measure it. And when both score lines have the same measurement, so it's just past the 1 1/4 inch mark on both of them. So once those are lined up, then you can find that centering point and then make your little mark up here and then score down from it. And the same thing from this one, you just will find the center point for this particular segment. And again, it will be 1 1/4, just inside or just outside 1 1/4. These are where these score lines will go. And you can find the center point because basically that's all I did by measuring over from the side. The other thing you can do, if that's too crazy for you, you can also make yourself a teeny tiny template. And what I did was this one measures, I'll try and write on here in really teeny tiny font. This measures 1 1/4 inches by 1/2 inch. Okay, 1 1/4 by 1/2 inch. So then what I do is I just take that 1 1/4 by 1/2 inch and I just put it just on the edge of that score line right there. And then I'll make a mark right beside it up at the top right here. Because since this is 1 1/4, you're just making it just a teeny tiny bit more, and that's the 16th inch mark. So just as long as you line up on the outside of the score line here, and then you'll be on the outside of the template here, that will be your mark. And you can use that on either one of those, and it will give you the perfect mark to create that little spot. So 3 different ways. You either measure over, use a centering ruler, or create yourself a 1 1/4 by 1/2 inch template to make that centering mark, and it won't be a big deal. All right. Now we need to score still, okay? I drew in the pencil marks. I'm going to show you how to score with this Omni Grip ruler. You can do it with a regular ruler as well, but this is nice because it's got that thick edge and it's easier so your little tool won't slip. So what we're going to do, we'll go ahead and just score down. I go back and forth and just line it up properly first. I'm kind of just going under that mark and under the corner because I want it right on, I want it to attach to that line, but you don't want it to go too far outside of that line. So we'll erase these little pencil marks in just a second so you can see that it actually scored. And when you do that, where's my eraser? When you do that, now when you go to fold it, it's going to be nice and crisp rather than all wrinkled along those edges. And of course, you don't need to do my pencil lines on here. You will probably need to do those little pencil marks at the top though, and then you'll be able to see exactly where you are scoring. All right. Okay. All right, this project truly isn't hard. I'm just making it seem hard because I'm showing you 3 different ways how to do this thing. All right, now we need to cut this piece. This is the bottom right here. I love using a trimmer because my lines will be super straight then. So remember we have these diagonal score lines up top. We flip to the bottom where on the long side where there are no diagonal score lines. And now we're going to cut up along the score lines just to the first score intersection. So we're just going to take this, I'm lifting this up, bringing it to that first score line and giving it a cut. Remember, you can do this with scissors too. Just go up to the first score intersection when you're cutting. I'll show you in a second what it looks like. Oops, cut. And the last one, cut. All right, so you can see if you use scissors, you can just cut the same way. This is straighter. This one right here is such a short distance that I'm just gonna cut it with scissors. Okay, so the only piece that is cut away is this bottom corner that is next to all of these bottom cuts. All right, let's work on bringing this together. I'm going to just lightly fold this inward on all the score lines, and then we'll come back with the bone folder. This is the top of the box here, so this one folds in and this top segment folds in the opposite direction. Okay, now that we've got them all folded in the right direction, grab my bone folder, move some of these things out of the way. All right, so we're just gonna come along score line and fold it in so we've got nice, crisp folds. The bottom, you could do these all one at a time, but if you lay this way and do this, you can do all 4 of them at the same time. All right, I'm gonna do this one. And then this one folds the opposite direction. If I fold it like this, fold it under, it's easier to grab with your bone folder. Okay, we're not gonna do the diagonal scores because those are pretty easy to do once you've got the whole thing together. So I'm just gonna do all the straight lines minus these ones here and then this little short scored segment here. So to bring this together, we're gonna do this side seam first, and the side seam's over on this side. So I'm gonna fold this over. We'll put glue all along this short segment, and then we're gonna fold this one over to come together. When you do it flat on your work surface, you're gonna have everything come together more evenly, and when you do it up in the air, it can kind of get crooked sometimes. So if you have a symmetrical box, it's better if you can do it while it's flat. So we're going to take, remember we've got the short segment, we're going to fold it over one on this second score line in, and we'll put glue right up all the way to the top and down. If there's any blobs, you just want to kind of take your nozzle and get rid of the blob and spread it out towards the center. It helps with having it ooze out. I try not to go so close to the edge here. Try and keep it closer to the center if possible. And then just fold this over and press down. You can use your bone folder if you want to. And then you can open this and move the seam. The seam's right here now. And press it. It's just perfectly symmetrical now that I've done it this way. Okay, so this is going to be my seam. I want to make sure this seam is towards the back of my project. So I'm going to put it over here. It's over here right now. I like to have the front of my project folded back. So this is going to be my front right here. And I like this one to be folded back rather than these ones here, because sometimes you can see the unevenness of this come together. So I like to pick my side right now, and it's going to be this one. So I want this one on top so it will be nice and flat for the front. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to put glue on here and glue on here. We'll bring these two together, and we're going to need to press these down on the bottom. If you need help, grab something. I'm going to use the bottom of my bone folder and just press down a little bit. So now we've got, you know what, I kind of did that wrong, but that's okay. My seam is in the back, but now I've got this on the front, which is not what I wanted, but you can see here, I'll use this as the front. See, I guessed wrong. I must have twisted everything. So this one right here, you can kind of see how it will come together and just overlap a little bit. Pick the side that you want for your front. This side isn't looking quite as nice as this side. So this is going to be my front. I should have looked at these angles because that's what's going to be on the sides. So now you're just going to bring this in. See where those little guys are? Right here and here. You're just going to press those in. And then those angles are going to come in really nicely and come down like this to create your milk carton. Voila. And now you're going to take up your pencil, wherever your pencil went. Where did my pencil go? Oh, there it is. All right, and you're going to make some pencil marks because we're going to make some holes for ribbon. I want to go in about 1/2 inch approximately, maybe closer to 5/8. You just want to make yourself some pencil marks as guides. Oh, that one needs to be a little bit further. Okay, it's about right. You can measure these in if you want to make sure that they're the exact length. Stampin' Up! No longer has a crocodile or a hole punch, so I'm at liberty to take one of these. This is a crocodile, and this is just going to help put those little punch marks in. There's a 1/8 inch side and a 3, what one is this one? 3/16. I like to use the 1/8 inch side. Line this up so that it's as even as possible, and then come in from the side, find your pencil mark, and give it a little punch. Okay. Now you want to keep this one even while you're doing the other one, because otherwise you might, it might not look 100%. Oh, you know what I need to do? poke that little piece out. Line this back up. Make sure those are even. Hold it tight. I'm going to be punching with my left hand now. Okay, so then just come in from the side, wiggle, wiggle, and give this a punch right there. The crocodile is a very easy, it punches like butter. So then I'm just going to erase that extra little pencil mark. And now you've got those two little places for your ribbon holes. Okay, then we're going to take a piece of this ribbon, the celebration ribbon. Oh, I want to show you how this looks on the inside. So we're going to take the vanilla organic milk. We'll stick that inside. And we'll take a granola bar and we'll stick that inside. So look, you still have a little bit of room for something. You could probably put 2 granola bars in there. You have room for other things in there. And there's a teeny tiny bit of room under the angles, but this, this thing right here measures 5 inches in total. So it fits right at the score line right here. Okay, so to get this through the hole, bend over your ribbon. You probably have done this before to get things through the hole, but bend over your ribbon and then just kind of bring it to a point and then stick it in that hole and pull it through. And do the same for the other side. Line up that hole and pull it through. Okay, so then just pull it back, see how much you're gonna need. Okay, and then we're just gonna give it a little cut and we'll do the first knot. And see how that kind of comes undone? It's hard to do this by yourself. So you get your locking tweezers. This is from that embossing tool kit. And then when you're doing your second knot, you have time to, you know, really make a nice knot. Voila. Okay, and then you can angle cut these. If you still have to put stuff in here, I wouldn't tie your bow until after you're ready. Or if you want something that can come undone nicely, you could tie it, also use more ribbon and tie it into a bow. Or just don't tie your knots super tight so it can get undone. Another way to close a milk carton, if you don't want to use ribbon, is you can use like a library clip, like one of those little mini clips. Currently we don't have any in the catalog, but like a little clip up top here will also hold your milk carton shut, and that will be something that you can, you know, use to hold those shut. All right, I want to show you how I decorated this up. Though there is one thing you definitely want to see how I did to get that grass on the bottom. So let's do that real quick. I forgot to cut myself a piece ahead of time, so we'll do that right now. So this is the 11-inch length, and we're going to just cut off 1.5. We're going to make this 1.5 by 11 inches. So it's just a big long strip. Oh, actually, it's going to be 10 5/8 inches. We'll take off a little bit off of the end. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's 10 5/8 inches. Yes, 10 5/8 inches. So the reason it's 10 5/8 inches is we're going to give ourselves an extra 1/8 of an inch to make this just a teeny tiny bit bigger than the sides of the box. So Bring it up to 10 5/8 by 1.5. That way you won't have to cut any excess off afterwards. If you leave it at 11 inches, it will still be okay, but where we fold will be a little bit different. So we've got this big long piece of cardstock, 10 5/8 by 1.5. You're going to start at one of the short ends and you're just going to start to tear along here. I'm coming, it's about 3/8 of an inch that I'm bringing off. It doesn't matter if it's like even, uneven. You can kind of see you're going to have a rough edge, which is kind of what I want to kind of create the look of grass. Okay, so this piece I'm going to throw away, or you can save it for another project. I am going to fold this piece in half and not score it in half. And the reason I want to do this is because it's just easier to do this than making another one a 1/16 inch mark. Also, you're going to say, well, Brenda, now you've got like a non-crisp fold. Well, we're running this through an embossing folder right now. So when we run it through the embossing folder, it's going to kind of destroy what the score line is going to look like anyway. So you can see it's not a pretty line that I just folded, but that's okay because we're going to emboss this now folded over. So grab your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I've got all of my plates, but I don't need them. I'm going to take my bottom plate, my number 1 plate, and grab my gray plate that I'm going to use with my thick embossing folder. I'm going to grab my Basics 3D embossing folder. There's 3 different embossing folders. We'll use 2 of them on this project. This one's got that crosshatch design. We'll pop our folded piece in here, close it up, place it on the machine on the base platform number 1 with a gray plate on top, and run this through. All right, voila, look at that. Now this folds really crisp. All right, we need our scoring machine again, but I'm just gonna pop it away for a moment. We'll finish the grass first. Let's open this up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold this end to the middle. So it's just inside the middle right here. Fold it down. Use your bone folder and give it a little bit of a smoothing out. And do the same thing for the other side. Kind of line it up. Just make sure your bottom's even. And then give it a little press. Okay, so now we've got 4 even sides, and we can glue that around this. So I want to keep my seam to the back. Okay, so we'll just kind of keep that in mind, and we'll put in glue on all 4 of these. Make sure especially you have glue right to the edge here. Okay, so I want the seam to be in the back, so I'm just going to squish this around, give this a little press, bring this around edge. And this should fit really well because we gave ourselves a little bit extra to get all the way around the corners. That extra 1/8 of an inch was evenly distributed on all 4 sides So it should just really snugly fit, and the corner should be nice and crisp all the way around. And even the seam looks pretty good. It's hardly noticeable. There's just a little tiny bit, right? It looks pretty good. And that is how I did the grass. Let's move on to the cow, and then I'll show you how I did the clouds. Come here. Come here, cow pieces. And we need the cow steps. And we're going to use the same color we used for our cow card, which is Pebbled Path. And we'll just go ahead and stamp a cow body. Now, the body without the udder, the standing cow, is the one that fits into the punch. You can either use the winky face or the regular face for the cow head. Both of them fit the punch. And then grab our punch and just go ahead and punch these out. This cow's fairly easy to make because you do have that punch. You don't have to fussy cut around any of those edges. I've got little shrapnel everywhere, but that's okay. We'll just scoop those up and put them in the garbage can. And then Stampin' Blends, I'm just going to use a light pecan and dark smoky slate to double check the name of that color. And I'm going to color it exactly how I did the cow on my card, so it all matches. I'm just doing filling in the little spots and the base of the tail. This just takes a second. And then I'll use the smoky slate dark on the hoops. Oh, and then one other color, Petal Pink Dark. And I'll just do the nose, face area, the snout, I guess. And I'll put just a tiny bit of pink under those ears. Okay, so flip this down so I can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna glue this guy just right where the grass is. You need a little bit of room for the head. So you wanna make sure you don't put the body in the center, because then the head will probably be sticking out a little bit. So just kind of keep it a little bit closer to one side. And you can really go to the town. You can add different cows on here. You can add some of the little chicks and stuff on here too. I just wanted to keep it simple so that you can see how this really doesn't take too long. Stick a dimensional on the cow head so it sticks out just a little bit. And I like to tilt my cow head. I don't know, I think that makes it kind of look friendly, right? So there is the little cow, and now we need to do the clouds. Let's do the clouds real quick. Oh, and then we need to do the sunshine. Okay, the clouds, I just used regular basic white cardstock, and we do have a cloud punch, so that makes it really easy. So you're gonna just punch out 4 of these clouds. I did punch a few extra earlier. We're gonna use this other Basics 3D embossing folder. It's kind of got like a floral star pattern to it. So grab our machine back here. I'm gonna get rid of these for a second. We're using base platform number 1 and the number 4 plate for embossing. Bring this in, scoot this in just a bit. So what I'll do with these is I'm going to lay them down, and I'm going to do 2 in one direction and 2 in the opposite direction. You see that? The big bump is here, and then the big bump is here on this side. So they're just gonna, 2 of them are gonna be flipped in the opposite direction because I want this pattern to be up. We'll put this in the machine with our number 4 plate and we'll run it through. And now we've got some texture on the clouds, very easily created. Move that out of the way. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to bring back in my scoring tool. We'll just have a little look right here. So we start off, we have one cloud that is in this direction, and the next cloud is in this direction. So if you want to do the same pattern as me, grab your scoring tool. You'll see this cloud, I've bent right along this bump right here. So I'm just going to put this on my scoring tool. Make sure it looks like it's kind of level. It does have bumps, so you just kind of look at it and say, okay, I like that kind of look where it's like that. And then I'm just going to score down on that piece right here. So that's number 1. If I'm starting at the back corner. Then this one right here is going to be, it's kind of in between this bump and this bump. So we'll score here. And I'll fold that. Okay, and then we're going to come along to this one. This one is kind of right here, and I'm going to score on this big bump. Make sure that looks flat. So that's number 3. And then finally this guy, oh, I guess I did 2. I'm gonna do this one in this direction, and we'll do this bump. I guess I did 3 in one direction and 1 in the other. But we'll do this one, so there's 2 and 2. And then this one will wrap like that to the back. Okay, so I've got all of them. They're all in order. And now I just need to glue them, starting at this back side right here. So these 2 are going to be glued here and here. I actually probably want to make sure my front looks good. So I'm going to use 2 and 3 first to make sure that looks good. And then we'll add the other ones afterwards, because I can arrange the side ones however I want, but the cow on the front does need to kind of look good. The cloud placement needs to be a little better on the front. Okay, there we go. I just want to show you how cute that cloud pattern is. It just makes them look fluffy. So then we'll take this one and add this on here. And if you're doing animals along the bottom of these, put all your animals on there first and then decide your cloud placement, because the clouds are the they are just the supporting characters in this milk carton box, right? They're not the star of the show. So you just want to make sure that you have enough room for all your animals and place them first. But the clouds do add a lot to this piece. They make it look special, and also they make it match the original card if you're also going to be doing those cards. So there we go. So cute, right? And now I'm just going to add like a little sunshine up at the top. And you can use whatever greeting you want. And we'll take, where did my greeting go? Right here. And I'm going to stamp with pumpkin pie ink. This cardstock is Lemon Lolly. It is Lemon Lolly cardstock. It's one of our new ones. And we'll just take this and stamp it right in the center of this lemon lolly piece. Okay, and then we're going to just do a quick die cut. You can use whatever circles you want. I'm using the deckled circles, and I used the deckled circles for our card earlier on in the week, so I wanted to repeat that. And we need now the base platform number 1, thin die adapter number 2, a cutting plate. We're going to use the second smallest and third smallest dies, and you just want to center that second smallest one on your piece, and then we'll grab one more plate, put it on top. Got a lot of stuff going on here, and we'll run that through. Make sure I put these back with my other circles so I don't lose them. Throw that out. Bring these together. Move this. We're going to glue these together. Oops. Now I've glued my work surface. I'll have to clean that up afterwards. Okay, I've got a tissue. Just get rid of that. All right. Then what we want to do is we're just going to punch near the top with our crocodile. We'll use the 1/8 inch as well. I want to keep it fairly close to the top, just biting into that lemon lolly cardstock just a teeny tiny bit. And then I'll take my scissors and just give it a little cut. So this means I don't have to string this piece onto my ribbon. I can add it after the fact. So what I'm going to do, just move this end ribbon to the side and just bring this over top. Through the ribbon's going through that cut, and it's going to nest into that circle. Oh, you can't see it. So you can kind of see I just slid the ribbon through that slit, and now the ribbon is going through that circle. And it should stay there unless you like pull on it hard, and then it will come off. But it would come off anyway, even if it would come off if you were doing, you know, pulling it hard anyway, even if there was no little slit, right? So there you go. It's a very cute box. And it's a fairly big box, so you can put more stuff in it than you can a teeny tiny box. Like if you look at the size of my hand, you can see, not all hands are the same size, but you can see that it is quite a fair size box. And then it's so cute with these cards here. So cute. Voila. There you go. I hope you like that, and I hope you have a way to use that in your stamping. Think about the different ways that you could use that. We have spring coming up, so you know there's a lot of spring things you can use it for. And you know, it is a milk carton. It does work really well with the Cutest Cows bundle, but you could also use it for other holidays as well. You could use it for Easter, just a different theme, right? You could put bunnies on it instead of cows. So it is a handy dandy box. Those embossing folders, they all come, those 2 embossing folders, there's a set of 3. So we're using 2 out of the 3 patterns. So it's nice how it creates, you see all that texture in the grass and in in the clouds. It just makes a really nice look that you can use with other punched shapes or die cuts. So you don't necessarily have to use a cow. You can use other things as well. And just remember, if you're getting the Cutest Cows bundle, it is in the US, it's about 40 something dollars. Add at least $10 more to it so that you can get my gift of the month and that you can choose a celebration item. And this ribbon is one of the celebration items you can choose. And this paper on the cow card is one of the items that you could choose as well. So you've got some options if you want to work with that. Pool Party ribbon is a very neutral color. Pool Party is a very sky base color, so it works well with so many projects. That's why we've had so much Pool Party ribbon over the years. And this is just lovely ribbon. It's got that crinkle texture to it, just beautiful. All right. Now I know someone's going to say, give Brenda a thumbs up. So I will remind you, if you give me a thumbs up, that's very much appreciated. Leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel. Oh, I wanted to mention, I think it was last week, I told everyone I was close to getting up to 23K subscribers, 23,000 subscribers. And I did. I surpassed 23,000 last week, thanks to all of you. So, you know, I love for you to subscribe to my channel so more people can find me and get paper crafting ideas. All right, I am going to say hello to all of you, and if you have any questions, I hope you will ask them. Good morning, Jackie and Elaine and Ellie and Cheryl and Deborah and Lori. Lori says she has her grandkids here today, so she'll have to watch the replay. Well, have fun with your grandkids. I think this would be a good project to use for your grandchildren, Lori. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Janine. And Linda asked a question. Is this the same box as the largest Merriest Trees box you made in December? The Merriest Trees box was a completely different box. This is like a milk carton. So I don't know size-wise. I don't think I have my tree boxes here anymore. So I'm looking so I can measure them. I'd have to go back and have a look at my PDF and see if I wrote the sizes on. You can probably look back, and sometimes I leave the sizes. So I would imagine that this is going to hold a lot more treats just because it's not a triangular shape, it's a rectangular shape, so you've got more room in a completely different box. All right. Mary says she loves the Cutest Cows. And so do I. I love cute punny stamp sets and bundles. They are always the first to go on my orders because they're just so much fun to create with. Hi, Marty. And hi, Corrine. And Corrine shared my video. Thank you, Corrine. I appreciate that. Oh, and I see people are joining me live from Facebook too today, which is wonderful. I've got this streaming both on Facebook and YouTube, but this morning it gave me an error message and said I wasn't going to be streaming to Facebook. So I'm glad that got worked out because sometimes it doesn't. And because on Tuesday it did not stream and I had to do a short little video afterwards and redirect people to my YouTube channel because I don't know, I'm getting some error messages when I'm going live. So I'm glad you're here, Corrine. And I see Sonia is also here and she's also shared it. Thank you both so much. You can do that. I don't know. I guess you can. I think it's more of a thing on Facebook than it is on YouTube. I don't know how you, I guess you can share on YouTube, but it's not to, I don't know. I don't know how the sharing from YouTube works, honestly. So, but I appreciate it so much. Linda says she has the ruler but did not know about the centering tip. Thanks for sharing that. Well, you're welcome. It's a great ruler. It's one of my go-to rulers now. It doesn't have 16th inch marks on it, but it has all the 1/8 inch marks on it, and it's wonderful for many different things. Oh, just another thing it's really wonderful for is it's got these, because you can see through it, it's got, let me show you. It's got these lines too. So if you ever want to draw a line, you can line up an edge with these lines in here. And then, you know, you've got your 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch depths. So you can draw lines in from the sides of cardstock. So it's a really nice ruler. And it's not super expensive. I can't remember how much it was, but it was definitely, I think it wasn't more than $10, around that mark. Hopefully I'm not lying, but it's, I love tools. I love a good tool. So, you know, something like that you're going to use over and over again. Okay. Nancy said, could you please show how that centering ruler works again? Maybe on a piece of cardstock. Okay, absolutely. I'll do that right now. Let's pop over here. Let's get a piece of cardstock. Let me grab something in a color, maybe a light color. Okay, I've got a piece. This is a little piece, and I've got weird stuff going down my. Let's see if I can get rid of that line. Oh, shoot. I need a new piece of tape. Sorry. I have, the sunshine's very bright in here this morning. It disappeared behind the clouds for a while, so I didn't set this up earlier, but I'm going to try. Let's put that right there. Oh, no. It's not the best spot for it. Let's see. Where are we going? Right about there. Okay, well, I partially got it away, but there's still a little bit over here. So sorry about that. Okay, so I've got my little piece of cardstock. So I want to find the center point for that. So when you're finding the center point, I haven't measured this cardstock. I don't know how wide it is. So you're going to want, when you're centering something, you want the same measurement on either side. So if I start off, okay, it's 2.5 inches here, and here I am over at 1 3/4. So I know I have to move this over. So now I've got 2 1/4 here and 2 inches here. That's still not right. We have to have both of these measurements match. So I'm going to move over a little bit more. And now I've got 2 1/8 on this side and 2 1/8 on the other side. So that means that now this piece is centered. And here is the centering mark, right, the 0. So I've got 2 1/8, 2 1/8, and 0. So now I know that this piece, that is dead center for my piece. Now if I do the same thing for this side, I also don't know how wide this is. So I'm just going to plop this on here, and I'm going to move this around until both of the measurements on either side are the same. So, you know, you can start off, I've got 1 3/4 here, 1 1/4 here. So I'm going to shift, and nope, it's 1 5/8, 1 3/8. So I'm going to shift. And now I've got 1 1/2 and 1 1/2 both on either side. So once I've got those two measurements equal, I know that this 0 is now at the midpoint. You just have to remember that both of these measurements have to be the same. So if you've got a weird measurement, like say you've got 1 1/16, you're not going to be right dead on the line, but you're going to see that the cardstock is going to be, you know, on either side, and it will be perfectly centered. So you just have to decide where your marks are. Like on my scored piece, it wasn't right at the very edge. I was measuring the center point of a segment, right? Not the center point from the edge. Let me bring this piece in. Oh. Okay, so say we've got this piece right here, and I want the center point between this segment here and this segment here. Okay, so then I'm going to like bring this in, and I see that this piece is not going to have a perfect center point on an 1/8 inch mark. Here I've got the 1 1/4 inch mark just on the inside of each of these score lines. And then the 1 3/8 inch mark is on the other side of the score line. It's straddling it. But just as long as what you want to measure the center of, you've got your rulers matching up on either side. Now I know, okay, this is going to be the center point right there. And I also kind of like to eyeball and double check. Does that look like the center? Yeah, it does look like the center. So that's the other, like if you do it and it doesn't look like the center, then double check your measurements real quick, because sometimes an eye can deceive us, but usually if it's like off enough, you'll be able to notice it. But this does look centered to me. So that's the way you can use the ruler. You can either use it on like a full piece of cardstock like this, or you can use it to center on a segment like that. I hope that explains it. I'm gonna screw it down. Nancy probably has something to say. Now she gets it. Okay, awesome, Nancy. I'm glad I was able to clarify that for you. Let me go back up to the top. Okay. Hello, Karen and Ver Blue. And Linda said, when she made the Merriest Trees carton box, I used 3/8 inch Velcro dots at each inside end of the closure area. So when they opened it to get the treats, it easily closes back up. I'll have to go look back at those boxes. I thought they were like in triangles, but I'm double guessing what I did there, Linda. You know, this is the way my brain works. I work on a design, I get it to where I love it, I create the project, do the video, and then I completely erase it from my mind. My brain has moved on. I have terrible memory that way. So I actually have to go back and look at my project sheet to remember exactly what I did. That's how my brain works, sadly. So I don't recall things. So maybe I'm thinking of a different box than I thought. The Merriest Trees boxes were triangle boxes for some reason, but maybe they are not. Mary said, can you still get the cloud punch? Yes, you should be able to get the cloud punch. I'm going to double check right now. I'm in the background. I'm bringing it up. Yep, it came up for me. I did double check it this week, but now you made me double think my if it truly was available. Yes, it is available. And the easiest way to get to it, if you don't know how to get to it, is to just click on the link in my supply list, and it will take you right there, and you can get the item number right there. Mary's one of my team members, so all you need is the item numbers to put it on a demonstrator order. You can probably also just get that directly off of my supply list. So yes, it's still available. It's a happy little punch. Oh, and the other Mary answered her already. Okay, it would be so much better if I did these comments live, and then I would catch all of these things before you all answered for me. Thank you, Mary Westling, for answering that question. Linda said, I wonder if a snack size package of Oreos would fit in there with the milk. I want to make these for my grandchildren. Oh, I wish I had a package of Oreos to shove in there. Let me just put this in here. So, you know, we have different, you know, if you're using the Horizons organic milk, I'm just pulling this off real quick just to have a look. So if you do, I don't even have any snack cookies here. So I don't know. I think it would be kind of tight. You know what? If you did, I don't know if a different type of milk carton would fit in there, because I do know they make different different brands of milk. I don't know, because it might if you bend it around the corner a bit, and but I don't know for sure, because those Oreo packages are kind of puffed full of air. So you would have to try and experiment with that. I do think a lot of different types of granola bars would fit though. So if you can see yourself to doing a granola bar instead of Oreos, you don't have to necessarily get Annie's. There's enough room for many different types. So I know Oreos are a fun cookie for some people, but just try it and let me know if it works for you. Not 100% sure. Okay. Marty says she loves this. Vera Blue said, adding this design box to my gift box folder. Aw, thank you. I'm so glad you like it. Laura says she loves it. And the milk cart and the cow together. Perfect touch. So cute. Linda says she loves this box and the coordinating card from Tuesday. So anxious to make. Aw, awesome. That's great. Let me see. Linda says she loves the embossing folders. Thank you for all the ideas. You're such an inspiration. Well, thank you. Oh, Linda says the tree box was from another demonstrator, but the tips would still work on this any carton type box too. Okay, well that makes sense. I did do a Mary's trees box too, like with the Mary's Christmas trees. So that's why the confusion. I think my boxes were in little triangles, like so they. I did 3 different sizes of boxes, just a different type of box. All right, let's see. Hello, Carol from Florida. And Elaine looked up my Mary's Trees box, and it was a triangular box. Okay, yeah, so, okay. I do sometimes forget exactly what I do, but I did think it was triangular. Marty said, thank you for taking the time to show how to use this ruler. You always give such good explanations. Well, thank you, because I'm trying to explain it to the little girl that was me. I always wanted to craft. I just wanted to, and I just was not very good at it when I was little because I didn't have enough practice. I didn't have all the supplies in our house, and my mom, I think I've told people this story before, but my mom was left-handed and my sister and I were right-handed. And she had always, she was always told growing up that the left hand was the bad hand. So she had a lot of bad thoughts about teaching us stuff because she already had a bit of a hang up over her left hand. And it's hard for a left-handed person to show someone, a right-handed person, how to do things because it's like backwards. And so my mom was actually quite artistic. She could draw really well, but we never really did arts and crafts together. But I just wanted to do arts and crafts. I loved in Girl Guides when we did arts and crafts, and it was so much fun. My crafts sometimes turned out looking really, really weird, but I still had this passion for it. So whenever I'm explaining stuff to that little girl who wanted to learn how to craft. And guess what? When you have more skills as an adult and you blast past those hang-ups from your childhood, you can become a better paper crafter. I'm living proof. I was not the one that took art classes. I've never taken a drafting class. But I learned all of this stuff because I loved it so much. So if you keep practicing, and you will get better at this. And you don't have to be a designer. I love that aspect. I love the design aspect. But so many of you bless other people with the projects that I design. But that's all you're creating these projects. So just go out there and do that. Do the part of the hobby that you love. And I wish my mom had, been able to use more of her art ability later in life, because she did have a lot of talent. And I wish I would have had something remaining of her, something that she drew. I don't have that because she just didn't love it. But I remember she used to draw these girls, like with dresses on them for my sister and I to color. And she was really good. I wish she had used her talent more. Okay, I have totally digressed. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Kristen says she thinks it's a fun project. She's going to watch the replay. Hello, Cynthia and Lacey. And Cynthia says it looks like a fun project. Linda said she made my Kisses tree boxes too. Awesome. Marty says the Pittsburgh sky looks like the sky on your box, but we're supposed to get snowstorm later in the day. Oh dear. I hope that snow doesn't come here. We got some snow last night and I was like, oh no, have to tackle more snow. Nancy says, I save one of each project I make, but the drawer's getting filled. Love your boxes. Yeah, that I used to save a lot of my projects too, but over time I just realized I can't store it all. So now I keep all my project sheets on my computer, and when I need to like look something up, like a problem I've already solved with a box or whatever, I use that sometimes as an inspiration for my new ones. So remember, you can save things on your computer and it doesn't take up extra space, right? Like hopefully you have enough space on your computer so that you can save these project sheets. I try and keep them very small, so they don't take up too much room. And that's what you'll have to do when you run out of room, right? All right. Kathy Barbera says, cute box. And Nancy says she's left-handed. Well, I hope that you didn't have all the same things told to you that my mom got told to her, because it's, I think it's those people that have like left-handed people can be very creative, and maybe some of them are not, and that's okay too. Everyone has gifts, right? But no one should ever be told that the left hand's the bad hand. That's terrible, terrible, terrible stuff. I'm glad. Hopefully we've moved past that. Anyway. Marty says, my poor mom, my husband was a lefty. He was somewhat ambidextrous. Yeah, that can be a thing too, right? You learn to use both. My mom learned to use both for sure, but was told he had to pick a hand when he started school. Oh, we don't do that anymore, I don't think. I hope that. Hello, Birgit. And I guess you'll have to watch the replay because we're almost done. So I wish you all a wonderful weekend. Have a great one. And I will see you all back here next week. I've got projects on Tuesdays and Fridays again. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.